And why you want to set these land trusts up, you want to set them up for these reasons here. And then I'm going to go right into the document and I'll go over key points as we go through this. You want to set these up for privacy. You don't necessarily want people looking into what you own. Let's say for a moment that you are in a situation where you've got 20 houses and there's a slip and fall situation. Somebody slips and falls and they go get a lawyer and they look it up. They're looking you up and they see that you own 20 properties. Well, now you're pretty likely to get a lawsuit. They're going to sue you because they say, okay, here's a rich guy. Let's go get what they can get. Adversely, it was just one property and one trust and that was it. Maybe they sue you, any attorney is going to weigh in and say, okay, is this really worth my time? Yay or nay? I don't know. It's less likely that you're going to get sued if it's just that one property. It's just less likely. And again, if you have questions about this, please, by all means, put it in the comments. Another thing is the ease of transferability, right? What does that mean, ease of transferability? Ease of transferability means that I do a lot of subject to real estate. So I'll take over a property subject to the existing loans. I put them into a trust. If I want to sell that house, I don't need to sell the house. I could sell the trust. The ownership of the trust, the trustee will change, the beneficiary interest will change upon the transfer of said trust to this new person. We don't have to go through another closing per se and spend all that time and money. We don't necessarily have to do that. Title policies in place, insurance is in place. They'll just make changes to those existing policies or maybe just get a new policy altogether. So you can sell your real estate, you can sell your business, you can sell your cars. You can do all of that if it's in a trust by just selling the trust, okay? Another great reason to have this, a trust set up is to not necessarily 100% avoid, but for the most part, you're gonna avoid a lot of judgments like I was just talking about. So the privacy and the no judgment, the no personal judgment piece is a pretty big deal, right? So how does that work, Miles? I don't understand. You know what, I just have to have a trust and put my stuff in there and they can't sue me? Well, you have to have another layer of protection associated with that trust, and that's by having an LLC. And it really doesn't matter where you have the LLC, but I can tell you as a side note that the Wyoming LLCs are adding an additional level of anonymity. It costs a little bit more, it doesn't really matter. But if you're looking for anonymity, you want to get your LLC set up there, set up in Wyoming. So you can have an attorney do it. You can go online to the Secretary of State of Wyoming, find out what you need to fill out the documentation, pay whatever the registration fees are, and go from there. You know, set up your LLC. If you're a single member LLC, it's a lot easier to do it that way because you're not gonna have, you're not gonna have a whole bunch of stuff in your operating agreement because it's just you, right? You will, allude over to the trust because everything would stay in the trust. And whoever is your beneficiary will then take over the LLC, will take over the trust, will do all of those great things. And no one is the wiser. Why? Because you don't file these documents. You're only filing a deed. And the only thing on the deed is the name of the trustee. And if that trustee is an LLC, well, then they got to go digging into that. And then if by chance you are forced to show your trust documentation, you can go ahead and show them that trust documentation because you're just the trustee. And it says on there that you get paid however much per year. I put on mine $10, some people put $200. It depends if you're using someone else, because there are companies or other people that you could hire to be your trustee. You gotta trust them though, right? You've gotta trust them. But there are people that you can hire to do that. And again, as I mentioned before, the fourth reason if you're investing in real estate, especially in the subject to space, is the due on sale clause. Why? The reason why is when you initially do these documents, as I'm gonna show you here in just a second, it's the person that owns it, or whose name is on title, let me say it that way. The person whose name is on title today is going to grant third party, another entity, another person, another company, like an LLC, name them as trustee, all right? They'll remain the beneficiary. So the trustee will come in, you form the documents. If you're buying a property at 123 Main Street, you might call it 123 Trust or 123 Main Trust, whatever you want to call it, that you can remember for that particular property. You want to do that, and then that's it right there. They're the beneficiary interest. That goes back to the Garn-St. Germain Act. That person is transferring this asset into a trust for asset protection, and they're still the beneficiary. Or they could name a family trust as the beneficiary. Same rule would then apply. Let's see, we've got a question here. AC Studio says, hi Jason, Ricky here. What's up, Ricky? For selling, transferring a trust with a property on it, do we need a lawyer or just to notarize it? You can just notarize it. It depends on the investor that you're working with, because it's really going to be their call, right? If they feel comfortable enough with you, maybe they've done a title search. I always recommend it, as you know. And by the way, I want to say congratulations to Ricky. Ricky just got his first deal. I also want to say congratulations to Selena. We've got Steve that's got a paycheck that's come in. So from our challenge, well, Ricky wasn't technically a part of the challenge. He came in at the end. But from our challenge, we have currently had 2 closings and 3 closings. One just hasn't funded. They did the documents. It'll fund tomorrow, because there were 11 properties under contract. 3 of them have closed. I know that 2 of them or 3 of them, well, either way it goes, by the end of the week, half of those are going to be closed from a 30-day challenge from all new. Thank you for asking the questions. Keep asking questions, you guys, if you have questions. I want to make sure that I'm getting them answered for you. We're going to jump into the document here. I'm giving you everything you need to find success as a real estate investor. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel and like this video. See you later.